hola. The next unit of sentence structure I want to look at is the phrase. A phrase is a group of related words that does not contain a complete thought. In other words, it cannot stand alone as a sentence. There are many different kinds of phrases, so let's take a look at a few, and then we'll focus on one of those. First, there are noun phrases. Noun phrases are groups of words that are built around a noun, usually a noun and the adjectives that relate to it. So, for example, my wonderful grandmother baked cookies for me. Now, grandmother is the main noun, but my and wonderful are both adjectives. They're both modifiers for the grandmother. So this all together makes up a noun phrase because they are all related words, but there is no verb in there, so it cannot be a clause. All right, the next one. The perfect cup of cocoa was waiting on the table. Again, cup would be the main noun. The and perfect both relate to cup, and of cocoa relates to the cup. So all together, this makes up a noun phrase. Again, there's no verb in there, so it can't be a clause. And lastly, with some effort, anyone can be a solid English student. So noun phrases do not have to come at the beginning of sentences. It can come anywhere in a sentence. So here we have a solid English student. So student would be your main noun, and these three words all refer back to student. And that makes it a noun phrase. There are also verb phrases. Verb phrases are groups of words that are related and built around a main verb. So it's usually the verb and its helping verbs. So let's look at the first example. You should have gone to the game. So gone is our main verb, and should have are the helping verbs that modify slightly gone. If you had eaten your dinner, you could have cake. It's not just eaten, it's had eaten, so it's multiple verbs that make up the verb phrase, and same thing here. Have is the main verb, but could have becomes a verb phrase because they're related words that function as a verb. And same here. Jared must wash his car or face angry parents. Wash would be the main verb, but must wash is the verb phrase. Now, verbal phrases are phrases that are built around a verb but function as a different part of speech. So, for instance, it could function as a noun. Reading a book is one of life's great joys. So, this phrase, reading a book, even though reading is a verb, it functions as a noun. This thing is one of life's great joys. So this is when a ing verb functions as a noun. It's called a gerund, if you're interested. But a verbal phrase can function as a noun. Likewise, in number 2, it can function as an adjective. The waitress standing by the counter drew Elliot's interest. So this phrase, standing by the counter, is an adjective for waitress. Which waitress? The one standing by the counter. And verbal phrases can also function as adverbs. We mowed the lawn to earn money for the concert. Mowed would be our main verb. And why did we mow the lawn? To earn money for the concert. So it functions as an adverb. So those are verbal phrases. But the one I want to focus on most is next. And that is the prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase is a group of words beginning with a preposition and ending with a noun or pronoun. Now, it might be handy here, if you're forgetting what a preposition is, to go back quick and watch the video about prepositions. Because to find a prepositional phrase, you must be able to identify a preposition because it begins with a preposition. Now, the interesting thing about prepositional phrases is they can come anywhere in a sentence. For instance, if you look at the sentence, in my apartment, the air conditioner is broken. Now the word in is the preposition. Prepositions can refer to where something happens. In my apartment. So in is the preposition, and then we have an adjective and a noun. Prepositions usually begin with a preposition and end with a noun. So here is a prepositional phrase at the beginning of a sentence. In my apartment, the air conditioner is broken. But we can take the same sentence and move the preposition around. So in the middle sentence, the air conditioner in my apartment is broken. Once again, in is your preposition. And so if we put the little parentheses around the prepositional phrase, we can see the main sentence here. The air conditioner is broken. Here's our noun phrase, because actually that is our main noun. That tells us that it is the air conditioner. Here's our verb and an adjective. But the prepositional phrase we want to put sort of in its own box. So if we put it in parentheses, that kind of separates it from the rest of the sentence and allows us to see the main part of the sentence around it. Likewise, at the very last example, the air conditioner is broken in my apartment. We can move the prepositional phrase to the end. But again, in is the preposition, but here we have the main part of the sentence. Noun phrase, verb, adjective. So let's see if we can identify some prepositional phrases. Here's one. She sat between Carl and Judith. So where's the prepositional phrase? First, find the preposition. Which one has to do with position? Between. So the prepositional phrase begins here. And that's the prepositional phrase. So the main sentence is very simple. She sat. Noun, verb, subject, predicate, prepositional phrase. Let's look at another example. I'm going to the gym before it gets too crowded. Prepositions? Prepositions can indicate direction. So to is a preposition. Also can indicate time, before. So we have two prepositional phrases here. To the gym and before it gets too crowded. So again, the main sentence is I'm going. I am going. So verb, noun, subject, predicate. And then you have two prepositional phrases. Last example. Before last summer, he had never jumped into the lake. Any prepositions here? Well, prepositions indicate time, so before is a preposition. And it can also indicate direction. Into is a preposition. So we have two prepositional phrases here. And this would be our main noun. He had never jumped. Subject, predicate, verb, phrase. Now the importance of finding prepositions is to sort of put them in boxes so that you can find the main part of the sentence. That's really why I want to work on prepositional phrases, is so they don't get confusing and distract you from the main subject and verb of the sentence. Okay? So we'll work more on that throughout the year. See you next time.